Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I'm working on my 2002 Suburban. It's getting a whole new front suspension and steering box. Anyway, that's not important right now. I'm putting these cheap eBay stereos in it because the old stereo and amp are shot. Now the problem with this thing is that it is a, get up here. It is a YE9, which means it's not a Bose system, but it does have an amp. So the amp is bad. We need to bypass it, and it has been a real struggle to figure out how. Metra made a 70-2056, which was a perfect plug-and-play bypass harness. However, they don't make it anymore. You can't get it. But what you can get is 70-2054, which is for the Bose style. So the problem with that is none of the wires are the right color or they're in the right spot. But you go around here to the harness, which I installed. I should not have installed it yet if I wanted to do this video, but ignore that rat's nest. By the way, it comes with, I think, like 50 foot of line each or some absurd number. You don't need it because you're just going from here to your original aftermarket amp, which is right here. And you unplug its stock plugs and plug in this harness. But before you do that, you need to pull apart this Metra plug and rewire it, because the sockets on 2056 and 2054 are identical. So this socket here and this socket here. This socket runs the rear way back D-pillar speakers and sub. I will not be using those. I'm not doing it today, but at some point I will be putting an aftermarket sub probably under the back bench. But anyway, so you take those and you bring up your Metra. You can get this off of their website. The install instructions for 2056 and 2054. And what you want to do is take the closest approximation of colors you can from Metra 2054 and reconfigure it, repin it for 2056. You'll want to repin both sockets if you plan on using those D-pillars and subs. Like I said, I'm not going to be messing with those. All we're trying to do for right now, short term, is get the 4 door speakers running. So these are good instructions for that. Now, you will need an additional harness. That's not everything you need. You still need to power the amp and several accessories from a split-off harness under the dash. And you can, or I'm sorry, behind the receiver itself, behind the head unit. And you can do that with 70-1858. And what you're going to do is you're only going to use your constant accessory, body ground, basically the accessories that come off this plug. The speakers you're not going to use. You can snip them short if you want, you can leave them, but you're not going to use them. What you're then going to do is on whatever harness comes with your aftermarket head unit, you're going to take and wire these, which they will be different colors, so you will need to use, once you've plugged your 70-2054, sorry, once you've replugged it to make it like a 2056, you will want to use the 2056's instructions. Note, it does not come with a yellow-brown wire. In place of yellow-brown, I used orange. So I just have to remember orange. So then you will want to take your aftermarket speaker set and wire it to these colored wires, remembering that that one will now most likely be orange or whichever one you use. You will have extra pins to peel off of 2054, so if you finish and you have extra pins, you don't need them, you can just spool them off the harness, throw them off to the side. I imagine if you wanted to put in a small multi-channel sub to get those D-pillars and the sub working, amp, you could do that. I don't care enough. The D-pillars are clear in the back. I don't know who's going to hear them or what they're really going to be used for, so we're just going to get rid of those. well, we're just gonna leave them in place and not use them. But anyways, at the video description, I will include all the parts I bought so that you can go through it and kind of see. But anyways, there wasn't a clear instructions out there that I could see. I had to come up with this myself. I should have filmed more of the actual pinning and repinning, but on the Metra harnesses, it's really easy. You snap a retaining clip off the back, and then actually still have the retaining clip on the bench for the sub and D pillar speakers. It just pops out. You can depress these with a pick, and then on the other one you can pop them out by hand and then just rewire them how you need. Anyway, so it was really confusing figuring out how to do this. I hope it helps someone. I'll post this on my Amazon review of the parts I ordered. And hopefully this helps somebody out. Save a little more time than I got to save. Thank you. I'll show you the finished product or any more details after this section that I may find. Okay, so now we're in the truck. I have my harness running to my amp bypass connector. I will not be reusing this harness. This is some accessories and stuff that come stock. We won't be using them. I have this stock harness that we'll be retaining. And then I have my accessories that are going to be powered off that stock harness on this, which is the Metra 701858. So this will power the receiver and accessories and things like that. So what's going to get confusing is that this socket harness adapter is not colored to standard color. So these won't correspond with your aftermarket. So what you'll have to do is decode. So just to remind myself what the aftermarket specific codes are, I'm just using the back of the 1858 bag, and then I have my instructions for 70256, which tells me what colors to use. Remembering that there is no yellow brown on the adapted harness I use, so in its place I just used orange. So, alrighty, this should work. We'll see. You'll never see this if it didn't. Alright, you're seeing me again, so it worked. Can't play the music or YouTube will get the angry. So anyway, yeah, that's how you do it. I will put a parts description below, maybe links to Amazon if they have the products, or anyway, nobody's promoter in Metra hasn't given me any money. I've given them money. The same with the eBay knockoff unit. Nobody's given me anything, so this is just my opinion expressly. So, and so far it worked out. You know, I have no complaints with the Metra harnesses, other than I wish that they would make the 2056 again. It would make everyone's life easier. So have a good day. Take care. Keep wrenching.